Ladies and gentlemen, this is 100 Beast Kenshi bringing you One Piece, chapter 1045, Next Level. And this week there's no cover page, so it seems like Oda just said to himself, you know what, scratch all the extras, we're going straight for the main course. And what a main course it is, gentlemen and ladies. Toon Force in full effect. Bugs Bunny would get his wig pushed back. Elmer Fudd would be like, yo blood, how did you do that? The Roadrunner ain't getting away. Foghorn Leghorn would get roasted into a Sunday dinner. Because as much as Luffy is playing, he's not playing, fam. He is not playing games. Although in his awakened form, everything seems to be a game to him. Or just fun. Just fun. Joy Boy, after all, has arrived. And you know, one of the most interesting things about this is the awakened Zoan Devil Fruit, because this is the first time we've seen an awakened Zoan, barring the jailers in Impel Down. Although, even though they were awakened, their awakening caused them to lose their mental faculties. They weren't exactly fighters who had achieved the highest level of mastery of their devil fruit and, you know, transcended in combat. They were more like mindless berserks with crazy regeneration, crazy durability, and crazy strength. Very difficult to deal with if you're in prison on an empty stomach, you know, wearing Kairoseki. I don't think they were the pinnacle, though, of what an awakened Zoan is, or rather, what an awakened mythical Zoan is. Because that's what we're dealing with right now. Monkey D. Luffy, aka Joy Boy, and Kaido both wield mythical Zoan devil fruits. One is the human god Nika, the human fruit model Nika, nigga, and the other one is the fish fruit model dragon. Wait, is it model dragon? Is there a fish fruit that just turns you into a fish, like just a straight salmon? All you can do is spawn. You don't transform into nothing else afterwards. But what would be the purpose of a fish devil fruit if devil fruits take away your ability to swim? Is Kaido's fruit just the fish fruit? It's not model anything. Anyway, the most interesting thing about Luffy's awakening right now, Luffy's devil fruit right now, the mythical Zoan Hito model Nika. Luffy's devil fruit awakening has given him the transformation of a Zoan fruit user. So his appearance has completely changed, and potentially his durability and physical strength has risen along with the transformation. He's also able to rubberify his surroundings. I don't know if rubberify is a word, but I'm going to use it because I like it. He's able to rubberify his surroundings, so he basically has the awakening aspects of a Paramecia devil fruit, which we all thought that's what the rubber fruit was in the beginning. Let's just go over some of the first parts of the fight, because the first part, Jesus Christ. So if you remember from the last chapter, Luffy, when after he awakened, he reached down to the live floor, grabbed Kaido with one hand like he was an action figure from Mattel or somewhere, pulled him back up onto the roof and was like, yo, we're not finished, you know, fam. He then proceeded to body slam Kaido, worse than how Captain Kidd could ever body slam anyone. Worse. Left Kaido seeing stars, and we're back here now, back on the battlefield. Luffy is just casually sat in the air, bouncing up and down. I mean, I don't know, is he in the air or is he bouncing off the ground? I guess he's bouncing off the ground. Maybe. You know what intrigues me a lot about this form? The smoke around Luffy's shoulders, the Gear 4 deity smoke wrap thing, whatever it is. Kaido has one of those as well, and as it's been explained, Kaido's one is a flame cloud that he's created himself to enable him to fly. If Luffy is a sun god and he has one of these deity smoke cape? Scarf? No. Rope? Smoke rope? Bars. I don't know, fam. Well, this smoke that's around Luffy, could it operate in the same way as the flame clouds do? He is a god after all. He's a sun god after all. So is it possible that he can create some kind of elemental types of rubber? Because Kaido's all elemental. Everything he's throwing fire, lightning, wind. Anyway, Kaido proceeds to eat Luffy. He bites down, chomp. Luffy struggles a little bit and he swallows. Pause. But then, Luffy's not done. Even though he's inside, he's not in there getting digested. He's inside there fucking shit up. Just like in the cartoons when someone gets swallowed and they can still kick and poke their arms and legs through the side of the belly that they're in. And while inside Kaido, Luffy activates Fuzen, which let's just clarify this from now. He activated Fuzen inside of Kaido, so there's no way. Well, I mean, maybe he could have taken in the air inside Kaido to go Fuzen, but wouldn't that have drained the air out of Kaido for the size of this Fuzen? I think it's pretty safe to say that Luffy is expanding himself without the need to blow air into his muscles or bones anymore, which is fantastic. He needed this. He needed it to transcend. You can't be in a high level battle blowing air into your fingers, blood. Nah. And then it starts getting crazy. As if it wasn't crazy enough already, it starts getting crazy. Because in order to get out of Kaido's belly, Luffy reaches out through his eyeballs. Now bear in mind, he doesn't poke his eyeballs out and find his way out. He rubberfies the eyeballs and pushes his hands through, turning the eyeballs into a pair of rubber gloves, grabs onto the nose, and uses Gomu Gomu no rocket to escape out of Kaido's mouth. As crazy as this is, it's basically Luffy on steroids. It's Luffy on flipping MDMA. It's basically Luffy on coke. It's like he's using the Hito Hito no Mi Model Charlie. It's basically Luffy on methamphetamines. This guy must be on GHB. But anyway, after he escapes, he does some next. He blows the air out of his mouth from the Fuzen, even though he didn't take in air in the first place. And he uses the air to propel himself into the clouds above. He plops into those clouds, and we can see lightning emanating from where he entered. And my gas levels just rose significantly. Because Luffy, in Gear 5th, Nika form, he says, Gomu Gomu no Gigant. Gigant. Wait, what? Gantz? Nah. Gigant. Luffy just transformed into a giant. Luffy turned into a giant like it was nothing. Like, yeah, this is just something I can do. And the science of gigantification, that's something that has been prevalent throughout the story of One Piece. Vegapunk has been trying to create giants for years. The world government itself has been trying to create giants for years. That group of scientists, MADS, that everyone was a part of, all the top scientists were a part of this group. They were attempting to create giants. Now, never mind the numbers, because the numbers, as big as they are, they don't have their faculties as much. So then I don't think they're as dangerous as regular giants. On top of that, they may not be as big and as strong or have the lifespan of proper giants, which is 300 years, if I remember correctly. What if the key to actually achieving the creation of giant soldiers within the Marines is the Gomu Gomu no Mi, or the Hito Hito no Mi Model Nika? Because there must be an issue when creating these giant people where the body probably starts to collapse under the weight of its own size. Maybe just starts to disintegrate the bigger it gets. Whereas if the body itself had rubber-like properties, it could potentially grow in size while maintaining its stability. Giant Luffy this is deep. we're definitely going to Elbaf now then. I was curious because after Whole Cake Island, and then, you know what I mean, we go to Wano and we go through all of this stuff. It was up in the air whether or not we were going to end up in Elbaf, because we kind of already had a little bit of a stint in Elbaf in the Whole Cake Island arc. It seemed like we were moving away from the giants in the story sort of thing until now. And it seems to be that this thing about giants in the world of One Piece, the power of giants and the sought after power of giants, it seems to be one of the more prevalent underlying story themes that have been taking place throughout One Piece from the beginning up until now. The payoff for this is gonna be wild, because even though the giant pirates are members of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, I think it's undoubted that Luffy is going to fight a giant when he gets to Elbaf, possibly Loki. And one thing I've always wondered about the giants is if any of them have eaten devil fruits, specifically Logia devil fruits. Can you imagine a giant with a Logia devil fruit? Oh my nigga. That would be nasty. The only problem with that is literally every elemental devil fruit has been used. We've got fire, Ace. We've got fire again, Sabo. We've got hotter fire, Magma, Akainu. We've got lightning, NL. We've got ice, Haim, Aokiji. We've got light, Borsalino. You have the swamp fruit from Caribou, the desert fruit from Crocodile, and we have wind. Pardon me. We have a wind Logia, potentially, in Monkey D. Dragon. And finally, we have darkness. Darkness from the man himself. Beyond that, I don't know what other kind of elemental devil fruits could exist, barring water, which shouldn't really be able to exist, because if you have the water devil fruit, then by the water Logia devil fruit, then every time you transform into your element, you won't be able to move. So, I don't know. If it works that way, maybe that's the one true fruit who cannot be held down by the water. Although, Kaido has the epithet of land, sea, and air, so I don't know. He has the fish fruit. Potentially, he can swim. Nevertheless, a giant with a Logia devil fruit would be something that would definitely tickle my fancy. And I got off tracked a little bit because that panel is just crazy. It's crazy. How big is Luffy? He's big. He's as big as Kaido. Gomu Gomu no Jampu Rope U. Gomu Gomu no Jump U Rope U. And then Kaido. This fight is sick. So in case you were wondering why I'm umming and ahhing and shuffling and shoving myself around, after Luffy escaped from Kaido's belly, he jumped up into the clouds, turned into a giant, came back down. Kaido tried to bite him. He was like, nah. Grabs him by the head and the tail and proceeds to Gomu Gomu no Jump U Rope U. And then, while in mid-air, before he reaches the ground from the Jump U Rope U, Kaido comes out with a blast breath like, yo, get off me. Who do you think you're playing with, son? Sonny Jim, whippersnapper, blast breath. All the way off Onigashima. Blast you. I'm not gonna complain. Only for Luffy. And Luffy gets burnt to a crisp. But did he go haki? No, he's burnt. Grit. That's the last straw. Poof. His Geppo has turned into something else entirely. It's turned into Gep out. His Geppo turned into Gep out because he got out of the sky real quick and back to the top of Onigashima. This is why I'm wondering if that flame deity rope around his shoulders, is that like Kaido's flame clouds? is he able to gep out from anywhere using the flame clouds? Gomu Gomu no 3 world conquest. Kaido is raw. Ragnaraku. And although Luffy was coming in there with for the straight bomb, he was coming in there hard, swinging his fist and all sorts. Kaido gets the headshot. Boof! Straight down. He's still in giant form. So he gep-outed through the sky in giant form like that. So he was a giant just now, flying through the sky. Nah, mate. Nah. 3 world conquest, Ragnaraku, boof, head top straight through the floor. What? Everybody on the live floor is like, what is that? Giant head coming down, eyeballs popping out. Everybody's eyeballs popping back up. Low kid, Nami. Is this one of his abilities? He makes people's eyes pop out. This is crazy. But yeah, his head pops straight back through. So giant head. Kaido, I love the way Kaido fights, you know. He was in dragon form a second ago. He was in dragon form when he got skipped. And then he did the blast breath. Luffy came back and he was already back to hybrid form, ready for the smoke. Kaido's raw. Okay, so it looks like Luffy shrank back to normal size. Yeah, back to normal size. Kaido's like, you put on quite a show, but you're at the end of your rope. You can't beat me, etc, etc. Luffy's like, shut up. Far from done. And as he says this, he is literally done. His Super Saiyan form starts to dissolve. His Super Saiyan form dissolves and he turns into an old man. Now this is another thing that I was wondering about, you know, while throughout Wano's been going on for a long time. And I've been wondering to myself, is there going to be, I was wondering if there was going to be like another time skip that happened just during the story, along with, like when Luffy was in jail. I was thinking, how long is he going to be in jail? You know what I mean? Is he going to have a year, 2 years? What's going on? But then this now, because I was saying that because I was thinking, you know what? At the end of Wano, Luffy, maybe the rest of the Straw Hats, they're going to come out of there looking a little bit older, a little bit bigger. When he went to Whole Cake, he had a 6-pack. He had his core game was good, and then when he got to Wano, a man had biceps and triceps. He had arms. So now, at the end of this, you know, what form does he take? Is he gonna come out at the end of Wano? Is he gonna have a beard? Is he gonna come out and be like, boy, joy boy? And this is, you know, the effects of the Gomu Gomu no Mi. With every barrier that he crosses, every limit that he pushes, there's an equal backlash that he has to deal with. You know, Gear Second itself, it takes so much stamina, and once you've used the stamina, it starts taking life force. Gear Third, originally it turned him into a little chibi Luffy, a little boy, little baby Luffy. Gear Fourth made him lose his haki for 10 minutes, which is critical in these high level battles. In the new world, you can't be losing your haki for 10 minutes in the new world. What are you thinking? And then we have Gear 5, where it doesn't just take his haki, it ages him. It literally, I mean, that's what it looks like. It looks like it's aged him horrendously, turned him into an old man. So at the end of Wano, at the end of this whole war, is Luffy gonna come out a little bit older? A little 5 o'clock shadow, bit of stubble, a little bit of a beard, a little bit of chest hair above the scar. This is crazy. Luffy's beat. Kaido's like, what the hell are you? And Kaido's beat as well. Kaido, he took the knee. Yeah, you know you have to take the knee. You have to take the knee. The Pirate King is on deck. Take the knee. So Luffy explains to Kaido that the awakening's taking a lot out of him, etc. Kaido's like, you can rest easy. We'll tell tales about the battle you fought on top of this roof. And Luffy's like, what? Who cares, bro? When you're dead, only your bones stick around. And he gets back on. Luffy, get on. Yamato and Momo said his voice is still fading, so he's dying. Yeah. Gear 5 is literally deadly. It really is Luffy. He was unrecognizable with his hair and clothes all white like that. White. The man went ghost form. Oh my. Oda's trip. Luffy went bleach form. This is white Luffy. We just went inside the inner world. Kaido is Tensa Zangetsu. This is white Luffy doing battle. He's white. I honestly expected him to be yellow. Like, who else would have thought the hair went any other color but yellow? The freaking Super Saiyan. We're not done yet. Isn't that right? Momo, Tama, Kinemon, Pedro. Everyone on that list is alive except for Pedro. And Kinemon, he's halfway in between life and death, unironically. I don't know why Pedro was mentioned. Are you really gonna kill yourself? After all this, do you really think something like death can scare me? Dum da 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 dum da da da. I'm not gonna play the tune because Luffy's white now. Get loud again, Heartbeat. Ooh. He transforms back into Gear 5th nigger form. I mean white nigger form. We're actually gonna have to start calling Luffy White Yardie. Shit. The levels of this devil fruit, Luffy's devil fruit, the Gomu Gomu no Mi / Hito Hito Model Nika. In this form, in Gear 5th form, Luffy is able to transform with the aid of his Zoan ability, because the Gomu Gomu Go is a Zoan devil fruit, a mythical Zoan devil fruit. His transformation seemingly gives him better defense, higher strength, and makes him more rubbery somehow. Then he's able to rubberify his surroundings. Rubberify is my new thing. He's able to rubberify his surroundings, which is the awakening aspect that you would expect from a Paramecia devil fruit, which means do we know what an awakening for a mythical Zoan looks like outside of Luffy? On top of that, right here, plonk with Kaido's club, Luffy is able to not become intangible, but use his rubber to take the shape of the attacks that are hitting him, ultimately lessening the force of the blow. Because you gotta think about it, if you get a golf club and you swing that at a golf ball, it's gonna go click and go all the way downfield. But if that same golf ball was made of like some kind of really gummy, like chewing gum like rubber, almost like a liquidy form of rubber. I think there is a type like that. I don't know how to describe this, but if you're gonna hit something rubbery and soft with a golf club, it's gonna lessen the force of the blow immensely, which I think is what's happening now. Bear in mind, Conqueror's Haki coating is a thing, so I think Luffy is still feeling pain. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. He runs away. I don't know if Kaido's club went through Luffy's head or what, but there's a giant hole in his head. So Logia aspects. Is this a Logia thing? Is this did the club go through his head? Bend, bend, bend. Boing. Whoa. Flip, flip, flip. Beep, beep. 3, 2, 1, 0. Back to normal. Flying towards Kaido. Swinging arms. Gomu Gomu no UFO with arms. What in the world is he? This pure white transformation. Swinging arms coming at Kaido. He's coming forward and spinning. He's coated with armament and Conqueror's Haki. Yeah. Gear 5? Gear 5. Like I was saying in that last video, he is coated with Conqueror's Haki. I said he was only going to be coated in Conqueror's Haki, not with armament as well, but swings and roundabouts, mate. He's coated with armament and Conqueror's Haki, and he can influence anything around him with his ability. He fights with such freedom, so versatile. I've never seen anything like it. There is no one in this world capable of taking me down. I'm just looking at the panel underneath. That I tend to only read Kaido's words, you know, because his words are just like gold dust. Gomu Gomu no UFO Gatlin. I don't know what it's called. It doesn't have a name. Splash! Straight through Kaido's head. His arm is going straight through Kaido's face. Straight through out the back. Yamato and Momo are... The look on their face says it all. That's the same look I've got on my face. What the heck? Okay. This panel is beastly. This punch, the way Luffy's attacking, the arm. But I don't know what happened. He just punched a hole through Kaido's face. And Kaido's on the floor, but there's no hole. Okay. There's no haki on the arm when it goes through the head. Or is there? There's no sound effect. What is that? Boom? Kaboom? Alright, I'm gonna be honest. Some time has passed with me looking at this final page here, or the final few. So Luffy, he zooms at Kaido, UFO with his arms, boof, straight through the front of Kaido's face. Arm comes out the back, but then Kaido falls flat on the floor, somehow face intact. So I'm guessing that. So is he rubberfied Kaido earlier? So he rubberfied his face with the punch on impact. I can see it now. Now that I'm thinking about it like that, I can see it. He punched him through the face. The punch went straight through the head all the way, but he rubberfied his head when he punched him. So the punch is not going through his face per se. It's stretching through and making a rubber glove out of his head, just like he did with the eyeballs. And then it looks like the snapback when Luffy's arm snaps back after he throws that snapback. It looks like it's happened on Kaido's head and just sent him back. And Luffy's arm is just still out, still in the same place, because his arm, he didn't pull back the arm. The arm kept going. It went through. He followed through all the way with that punch. And it was Kaido's head that pulled back. I think so. I'm having the time of my life, Kaido. Mate, I'm having the time of my life reading this too. This is crazy. Chapter notes. Luffy's gigant form is said, just like when he uses moves in Gear 3rd. Gigant is the word for giant in many languages. It derives from Greek mythology. Kaido's attack is a reference to Trailokia Vijaya? Mate, I don't know how to say that word. One of the 5 kings of knowledge of Buddhism who conquered the 3 worlds: desire, form, and formless. In the past, we translated this a little differently. We've restored the conquest aspect to make the reference more apparent. We've also switched to Ragnaraku, as it's become more apparent that this is meant to be a portmanteau of Ragnarok and Naraka, a Buddhist term for hell. Luffy's line here seems to be mirrored in the lyrics to Bink's Sake. Death will treat us all the same, our bones alone are what remain. After all is said and done, we all end up as skeletons. One Piece is just... It's crazy. And it suits Luffy so perfectly, because he's a cartoony guy anyway, but his devil fruit awakening makes him even more cartoony. It's kind of like his abilities match his personality more now, because he just he's always, it's the thing, like the characters in One Piece, in my mind, it just looks to me like they just make up their combat techniques. And like whatever they do, they're like, yeah, I'm going to call this rocket. I'm going to call this, skywalk. I'm going to, whatever. Like when Luffy did that UFO in Punk Hazard, like this with the legs though, he was just having fun. He was being Joy Boy. And now now that he's reached Gear 5th, he's free to fight however he wants. He can use any kind of ridiculous techniques he should so desire. And I'm all here for this. As ridiculous as it is, it's menacing. He put his hands through his eyeballs first. Yeah, Luffy's wrong. I expected him to turn the surroundings into rubber. I didn't expect him to turn his opponent into rubber. Masterfully written, masterfully done by Oda. But this just adds a whole new layer onto the combat prowess of Luffy. Because you have to wonder, is that rubberfying punch, is what I'm going to call it, Gomu Gomu no Rubberfy Pistol, is that stronger than Conqueror's Haki Coating? Well, if you apply Conqueror's Haki Coating to that then, but he's coated in Conqueror's Haki, so is it already applied to the rubberfying pistol? And if it's not, what happens if he punches through into somebody and then activates Conqueror's Haki Coating? A man will explode from within. A man would spontaneously combust. He wouldn't even need Red Hawk. And now he's on that level defensively as well, because he's got that Logia capability that all the commanders seem to have. The first commanders, they seem to have this Logia ability to withstand attacks. Which begs the question, when Zoro comes back from hell, is he gonna be carrying a flaming cloak that can guard him, that can boost his defense against other swordsmen? Who knows? This is a magnificent chapter. Magnificent. Just unbelievable. Luffy turned into a giant. Like this is thousands of chapters of lore, of build-up coming to a head in this one moment, in this one panel, right? I mean, he continues to fight Kaido in earnest, but he turned into a giant. See, look, yeah, even TCB reckons that he's yellow. I thought he was yellow. I thought he went Super Saiyan. I guess it's a little bit hard to choose a colour since Dragon Ball Z has stolen all the colours for a Super Saiyan now. Super Saiyan red, Super Saiyan blue, Super Saiyan green, Super Saiyan yellow, obviously. Got all the primary colours. All they left was white. I'm still a little bit unsure about this last panel, but I mean, you know what? No. Because you can see there's Conqueror's Haki on his fist. I'm looking at the color versions at the bottom of the page on TCB. There's Conqueror's Haki on his fist when it's outside of his head. But when it goes through his head, you can't see the Conqueror's Haki. So I'm saying that's Luffy punched Kaido so hard, he got his back buck on his knuckles. And there's definitely, I feel like he did, when you look at the color, it looks like he did what I was saying earlier. He did the rubberfied pistol and then did Conqueror's Haki Coating inside the face and blew Kaido away. These color images are dope though. Shout out to Grace. Is Kaido done? Mate, you just got your wig pushed in? Is he done? Yo. Luffy has awakened. Kaido is literally gobsmacked. Luffy exhibits the abilities of Logia, Paramecia, and Zoan with a single devil fruit. This guy thinks his name's Blackbeard. Little mecha. Since Luffy is doing this though, that means that in order to compete, Blackbeard has to obtain a Zoan devil fruit at least, or just at least one more devil fruit of equal potential to Luffy's triple threat. He basically has all three devil fruits in one, or devil fruit types I should say. Land, sea or air, I don't think it can apply here. Kaido is going to lose. Wano country is going to open its borders. We may see the Grand Fleet when this happens, given everything that's happening to Luffy at the moment. Luffy is going to become Pirate King. And remember, a sword slash to the back is a true shame to a swordsman.